Jim,
Pat.
Pat, and I ran into these guys before. You've stayed in. Oh, I'm Mark. Do you guys need anything? Have you got enough of?
Oh gosh, we got more than enough.
How about some mashed potatoes? Want some mashed potatoes?
All right, here we are on Sturgeon Lake with Pat and Jim. And can you guys tell us a little bit about how you came into the park this year?
Today, and this is our second night here. We ran into Mark here, who had an excursion with Jim 20 some odd years ago. A tale that nobody believes.
Oh, right. which we'll tell tonight.
Which we will tell again tonight, or I will hear for the hearing bits and pieces.
Yeah.
You know, and it's kind of cool, but this is.
Mark is looking for vindication.
Right, he's looking for, yes, he's looking for, he needed a witness, and the witness came. And I don't know, you know.
Exactly, Jim.
I have to see what he has.
We're sitting here, and there's all these
stuff.
things that just kind of pulled us together tonight, and it's kind of cool.
Jim, it was what, 22 years we're thinking?
At least.
Yeah, at least 22 years ago. And it's a story that I've told 1,000 times because it's one of those events that it's too incredible to actually be true.
My friend John and I were with our daughters. They were 12, 13 years old then, I think. So we ended up in kind of a quandary with the weather being so bad that setting up camp would have been a tough thing to do in the rain. And so we kept going with Mark, and then it was dark, and I think it was well after midnight by the time we got to
Nym Lake?
Nym Lake, yeah.
And portaging in the Nym Lake, it was pouring rain all day.
Yeah.
We're portaging up and there's ankle deep water coming down the...
I would say that portage was half mile or more long.
And we set out across the lake. And we get out about a third into the... Jim, why don't you keep going from there?
Oh, well, then the storm broke, and
All hell broke loose.
Oh my God! And lightning, thunder,
steady lightning. Yeah, it was spectacular,
and of course we all three got separated.
Yeah.
And the thing I remember the most is looking over and seeing your friend John's daughter, who could barely paddle a boat in the beginning.
Yeah, she was a little girl.
Poor girl crying. She was scared to death. And of course my thought was, I'm going to kill these people because they were just minding their own business. And then when the girls found out that I was going to hit the car that night, they started bugging their dads. So I felt responsible.
And
we got blown apart.
Oh, yes. I wasn't having trouble maintaining a course because my daughter was pretty strong.
Yep.
But John got turned around out there in the middle of that lake.
Yep.
And I think... I don't know if I think I maintained contact with them. But we got going again, but that storm didn't quit, and we eventually came right on the dock, didn't we?
The funny thing is, it was pitch black, and we shot an azimuth from the opposite shore and paddled about 3 miles in a horrible storm. And when we started getting to the area where we thought might be the park, all of a sudden I hear a big bang, and actually it was John or your boat hitting the dock. The dock.